What up, Wheatfield? What up, y'all? What it do? Welcome back to the Wheatfield, y'all. Welcome to you. If you new, hey, welcome to you too. Welcome to the Wheatfield, y'all. I feel like we need to turn this a little bit more so I can see actual table just a bit. I don't know if that made a bit of a difference. Hopefully it made a tad, just so y'all can see a little bit more of the space. What up, y'all? What it do? Welcome back to the Wheatfield, y'all. Welcome to you. If you new, hey, welcome to you too. This is your girl Lottie here at Tears and Wheat to Roll show, where you show enough never know what you're gonna get. We're gonna turn this down just a little bit because we are listening to the smooth jazz sounds of Jonathan Butler on Amazon Music. Just vibing out to some tunes for the show, beloved. We channel better when we're listening to music, being in the flow of it. Ooh, we did some things. A couple of them that we got to talk about. I don't want to get squirrel and forget it. First, today's cup says blessed, beloved. We are blessed. Happy holidays to you, no matter what you celebrate, from Hanukkah to Christmas, Kwanzaa, all of it. I pray you are having a blessed holiday season, that you are feeling joyous and delightful in your spirit, and that, just having a good time celebrating with your family and your loved ones, beloved. If you are struggling this season, because that is a thing too, holiday depression is huge. Check on your friends and those who you know have lost someone close, and this could be like, their instance, their season of going through without that person, or just keep everybody close. You know what I mean? Just make the extra effort to reach out, to show that you care and that you are there just in case they need. And this is for someone, if you need it, the crisis hotline, beloved. I think if you dial 211, you could reach somebody if you just need to speak. So thank you for that PSA. And we're going to jump into it, Ashe. Being blessed on this day. Let's take a sip. Thank you to the Most High God for all of your blessings. We speak life, we speak peace, we speak calmness, we speak prosperity and abundance, we speak goodness, we speak the ability to see you everywhere and in everything. Thank you so much for all of your blessings. If we never have any other thing, I pray that we know that we have everything. Thank you. So grateful. So grateful. Grateful for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yes. I know. Kind of corny, but it's true. The ability to be alive, to be consciously aware of our ability to pursue happiness and joy and to feel it. Again, joy is not of this world. It's not, beloved. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. I pray for somebody to recognize that joy is still with you and you can tap into it as long as you breathe, Ashe. We got 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and I'm feeling leadership of self, beloved, leading your vessel, taking authority over your life and your experience, and also balancing with surrenderance, knowing that we are not in control of the outside factors, but we are in control over self, and mastering self, I believe, is the lesson. It says attitude. It says, do you want to read this little box? Because I see it's clued in on it. If you think your people are negative, then you better check your attitude. If you think your people are negative, then you better check your attitude. Why? Because attitude, people attract like energies. You attract people around you to you based on how you're vibrating on your own frequency. Look around you to see how you really do, basically. Rarely have I seen people Rarely have I seen positive and negative people attracted to one another. Rarely have I seen positive and negative people attracted to one another. There's usually some conflict, some friction there, right? Because you don't vibrate on the same frequency. So those waves are bumping up against each other. It's not a smooth resonance where you can combine and combinate, come to a meeting of the mind, Ashe. It says, people who view life as a series of opportunities and exciting challenges don't want to hear others talk about how bad things are all the time, beloved. I know that's true for me, and not only do people attract others with similar attitudes, but their attitudes tend to become alike. You tend to start mirroring each other, right? You become a reflection. Again, if I got a positive disposition and yours is negative, we probably not gonna match. We're not gonna match. I'm gonna rub you the wrong way and you're gonna rub me the wrong way, and we gonna most likely part ways and go our separate ways. I'm just saying, let's get it. Attitude is one of the most contagious qualities a human being possess. Attitude is contagious. If you are a person that is inclined to positivity, if I walk into a room and you're feeling low, you're feeling down, right? Then I could speak and my positivity will radiate. It will become contagious. I can bring light and positivity and love into a room. The same as somebody that's negative. They can bring the room down. Their energy is contagious. People with good attitudes tend to make people around them feel more positive. Those with terrible attitudes tend to bring others down. That's just what we said. It says, people attract and are attracted to others of a similar background. Blue-collar workers tend to stick together. Employers tend to hire people of the same race. People with education tend to respect and value others who are also well educated. This natural magnetism is so strong that organizations that value diversity have to fight against it. They have to fight against their own natural tendencies to want to stick to their own kind and not be diverse. Because we tend to want to be around the familiar, those that complement self. People that you vibrate with, that you resonate with. In the NFL, for example, the team owners are white, and for decades, all the head coaches were white. But because members of the league valued racial diversity, they put into place a diversity policy requiring teams to include at least one minority candidate in the interview process when hiring head coaches. That policy has developed more highly qualified African American head coaches to be hired. But other than in the area of race, the background of all the coaches remains strikingly similar. And when I read that, I was like, that is very interesting, but it makes sense. We could look different, but my core tenets will most likely be similar. We will still resonate, right? So, and then you can see that across planes. So if I'm a spiritual person and the tenets that I live by are similar to those who are indoctrinated in certain religious sects, then we could get along. We can have conversation because the tenets, the principles are what is the value that is similar, right? We can speak the same language. We do speak the same language even if the face is different. Makes sense. Values. People are attracted to leaders whose values are similar to their own. Again, we don't like to really get into politics. We do. We dabble every so often because we know that the country where I live in the United States is deeply divided, right? People of similar backgrounds tend to stick together. And it's not necessarily based on race, even though sometimes race comes into factor because most people tend to stick to their own, and they usually are in groups, and most of them have group think, right? But even when you see, I think Donald Trump or one of the groups, Republican groups, I think it was Trump who may have had some flack because, no, it was something. Maybe it was Jill Biden got some flack because she had black people in her Christmas play. things like that. Like, people don't get it. Like, they supposed to all be white because the Bidens are white, whatever. I don't understand it. Or people who are black that are pro-Trump. Like, they have that mindset, that value that Trump embodies. And so they gravitate towards that. It's your prerogative. It's what you are attracted to based on your value, on your resonance, on your particular attitude. Anything else in here? No. That's the law of magnetism. And I feel like that is the same thing, the basis of the law of attraction. What you resonate with, what you vibrate with, even if it looks different on the face, beloved, if that core resonance is the same, you will attract it. You will call it in. And I feel like there's also a tenet, a twinge of judging on face value, like judging a book by its cover. Because I feel like once you get to know a person, you will see. Again, you may disqualify a head coach applicant because they are black, but when you start to look deeper into their background, you see that the tenets are very similar. You can get along, you can coexist and co-create and elevate together in a symbiotic relationship because the tenets are the same, beloved. Whew, I know that was heavy. Wasn't it gone to the Alpha and Omega, sending that word, that infinite intelligence, wisdom, the principal thing coming and sliding in, moving on the breath of life, beloved. Come on, let's get it. We also jumped into something else that was kind of heavy. The physics of consciousness. Ooh. You know, I told y'all we do a little bit of reading around here. Our TV don't work. So that'll let you know how your girl roll. We might watch a couple shows on this here iPad thingy, but for the most part, we create. We don't watch others, beloved. So we attract other creators. We do. And I'm so upset. I was looking for my Bhagavad Gita and I can't find it. If I don't find it soon, I might have to replace it. But I'm praying and asking for the Spirit to guide me to it so we don't have to do it. In the meantime, I'm learning a lesson on making sure that I put all my stuff away and that it's organized. Another one I thought that I had ordered, but it was still in my cart. So maybe it was just on the list to buy. But I almost feel like I could see the book, like a green, almost felt cover book. And I thought it was my Nag Hammadi, but I have the Samadhi, but not the Nag Hammadi. And maybe that was just a mix-up on my behalf that I hadn't purchased it yet, that it was still in the list. But either way, I was reminded and we bought it. So, divine synchronicity. The physics of consciousness. Now, I was brought to a couple of different things in this, and I was, like, very interested. I feel like this is going to be my next read. We've been jumping around in chapters as the Spirit brings us to it for lesson and for learning, but I really want to just sit down and chew and study it, like get a really good, deep understanding, because other books like the Nag Hammadi, the Adi Granath, that I'm also reading in conjunction with what is that? We have it over here, I think, still, because we were just down in it not too long ago in one of the recent episodes. This one, I always have a hard time saying this. I'm gonna have to listen to somebody say it and practice it. Samkhya is how I say it, and it could be wrong. Samkhya is what I'm saying. But these books work together. Like all of the information, you know, they kind of cross one another. And I love reading that. Also, I love, along with the 7 spiritual laws of success, Deepak Chopra. I feel like this thing got a little loud. This one right here, they all speak a similar principle. Again, the attraction, because the principles and the tenets are very similar, even though the covers are very different. So when you start to really dig into the knowledge that they're bringing, you will see how a lot of it is the same. It's very cohesive in terms of how it comes together and supports a full understanding of our spiritual essence, our soul, consciousness, the eternal, which really is, and the manifest, this physical vessel. And how do we tap into truly the laws and the principles that govern us, the laws that we are supposed to use to govern the self, coming into self-mastery? The physics of consciousness, beloved. And I'll move just in case you guys want to order it. I got it off Amazon, one of the original online bookstores. Not just stuff to put your books on, but the actual text. And it wasn't very expensive, beloved. Do you want to start here? Naturally, the existence itself would not have freedom of expression if there never were unplanned death, loss. And we kind of spoke about that a little bit. If there never were unplanned deaths. So speaking to someone that may have lost somebody unexpectedly. In that case, a certain period of adjusting and cleansing consciousness of the soul must take place to ensure the impressions gathered during one lifetime, both in the astral and the mental body, are dissolved, because the way back is set in several stages. And it's kind of odd because it says the way back is set in several stages. I feel like that's just the mental progression of us accepting that death has arrived, right? And I'm feeling this on two different levels. Almost one where you may be facing your mortality. Like, we go through life knowing that each day is not promised to us. It's just not. We all have a day that we're going to transition away from the manifest and back into the spirit or astral realm plane, where we are not inside of a vessel. Some feel like we go from one vessel right into another. Some believe that. I remember being in the astral plane. I do believe also that everything exists now. So if I am living multiple lifetimes, I'm living them now. So all is not mutually exclusive. They are cohesively inclusive. Like everything is happening now. With that being said, we are aware of ourselves in this dream state. I feel like when we awake in this place, like this level of consciousness, that we are asleep in other levels of consciousness. We are awake in this vessel, living out this manifestation in this cycle. But there will be a transition, because we know that this form is temporary. It says, in cases of a planned departure from this world, releasement of emotional and mental bondage of consciousness to this world is partly done during the life of the body. Some form of isolation and separation is imposed, often through an illness that makes us grow weary of being tied to the body, or the emotional attachments to somebody or something. Various circumstances or events lead us to the stage where we have had enough of our situation. We have understood and accomplished our mission. In reality, our whole life is steering us in the direction of understanding the transcendental consciousness of the divine soul in us. Death is nothing but a head-on collision with it. With what? The the understanding of the transcendental consciousness within us. And I feel like you didn't want me to go back to that. Death is nothing but a head-on collision with it. Transcendental consciousness during meditation is its understanding during life, becoming aware that only life exists and nothing else. That life is far greater than anything else we can imagine. It says, may I start here? In reality, our whole life is steering us in the direction of understanding the transcendental consciousness of the divine soul in us. So in us is a divine soul that is understood as transcendental consciousness. Death is nothing but a head-on collision with it. A head-on collision with what? The divine soul, which is transcendental consciousness. Transcendental consciousness during meditation is its understanding during life, becoming aware that only life exists and nothing else. So you are either in astral consciousness or, because it said to. Astral consciousness and physical consciousness. But either way, it's still consciousness. It's all consciousness. Is that right? Yes. This section says embodiment into a physical body is such a low and limiting experience to our soul that the death of the body is experienced as a gigantic relief and encounter with bliss. It's like, and it describes it as if you are underwater and you are kind of like wanting to breathe, but you can't because we don't breathe underwater. And then when you get up to the top and you take that deep breath, it's like relief. It's almost like our souls are suffocating within the vessel. Like it yearns to be free, to experience bliss, which is its full self, unlimited, which it can realize in the astral plane. Like being encased in a physical body, it's like I'm limited and I'm unable to just be my full self. The next chapter is synchronicity is merging of the parallel realities consciously. Synchronicity is merging of the parallel realities consciously. Since reality is timeless and all of its possibilities manifest in parallel, that's what we were just saying. Since reality is timeless and all of its possibilities manifest in parallel, the lower mind allows for the functioning of consciousness of the higher mind, as well as synchronicities apart from inspiration and insight, as events that overlap with thoughts and intentions and meaning. Two, they do not have an objective connection with one another or visible cause. They are events in which thoughts and intentions get materialized or lead to a common event which encompasses the meaning of the other event. I feel like all of that, coupled with the first reading that we had in terms of attitude and disposition, I don't know who this is, and I don't want to get a copyright. It sounded like that was loud. And usually when I have vocals, they copyright me. I don't own anybody's music, and I'm not using it to get rich or get famous or none of that. It just helps me with the channeling when it's not too loud and disruptive. I feel like all of this is coming together to say a thing. that all of our realities exist at the same time. It's in parallel. Everything is happening now and everything is timeless. That the soul, of course, is pure consciousness, and life, only life exists. That death is only, again, the phase where the physical consciousness is allowed to experience itself as astral consciousness only, period. Going back into its unlimited, unbounded state. I feel like also while we are in a manifest, this physical manifestation, the vessel, that the consciousness, our attitude, and our disposition attracts, right? Pulling in things from parallel realities. We are attracting them to us. And as we attract, what we attract, law of attraction, is based on our internal disposition, our frequency, our vibration. So I can pull in somebody or something from a different timeline, a different parallel reality, right? And I will thank you so much for blessing me with your spirit. I can pull them into me based on my resonance and my vibration, on my thinking, on my intention, what it is that I truly see, how I've made my mind, how I've set my mind to see a thing. And with that, I feel like we can call in our blessings. We attract it to each other, to ourselves. We attract self to self, essentially. Because creation is whole. Creation is complete. There's nothing broken and there's nothing missing. If I look out and everything that I see is the Most High God, I see Most High God as me, as everything, then I'm attracting that to me. I'm attracting other selves to me. We are always attracting to self that which we need to meet our own need. Now, whether you are aware of it or you are unaware, waking conscious or subconscious, right? You could be subconsciously calling in things to you, which is something that you need in order to change your resonance or to set you up for your blessing. Either way, we are calling blessings to ourselves, whether we deem it to be good or to be bad, high vibrational or low vibrational. Either way it go, whatever you have is what you have attracted onto self for the purpose of self. I know that's heavy. I'm going to take a sip while you kind of break it down. I speak goodness into your life because that speaks goodness into my life. I love you the way that I love me because that is my capacity. And me loving on you loves on me, right? And that is why we don't wish ill on one another. Two things, really three. Unexplained and unplanned death, the phenomenon of it could be parallel realities colliding and crashing. We are never prepared for it. Just like planned death, when death is planned, it's known as imminent. Somebody is going through a situation where their mortality has been expressed to them. They have the ability to go through stages to prepare for transition. When there's no ability to prepare for transition, people are shocked into that, just kind of thrown into it. And you go through, I think, a deeper or a different type of grief, right? You're going to grieve regardless because we are connected individuals. We are connected to the physicality. We're wired to be touched. the sensations, right? The senses wire us to be connected to sound, to feelings, to emotion, touch, beloved. Um, the physical manifestation of each other. And I feel like somebody is not only dealing with the absence of someone's physical representation, but I also feel somebody who may have gotten news of their own mortality and they are preparing for transition. So I offer condolences on both ends of the spectrum because neither are easy to deal with. There is a period, a process of acceptance that was described, right? But I also want to give on to the fact that only life exists. And we can say this because matter never dies, it only changes form. So this consciousness, my soul, it is made up of the matter of the Most High God. And that is always here. Your loved ones are always here, and you will always be here. Yeah, you will always be present. I know that my ancestors are always present. Goodness, no matter how many times I turn it down, it just seems like it's still loud, right? They gonna for sure. They may not copyright me. We pray not, but if they do, okay. My ancestors are always present. I can feel them with me. I think that is like the movie The Sixth Sense, and I'm not, making light of it. I know it to be true. I define it a little bit differently, but that emotion, the ability to feel them, to sense them, to commune with them, I know it's something that we can do. It doesn't necessarily take away the hurt from, it does not even necessarily, beloved, it just don't. And I still grieve, even though I can still feel them and commune and talk with them. It gives me another level of being able to release and to purge things, to get closure on things that I did not get a chance to say while they were physical. But I know that they are still with me and that they experience a sense of joy and bliss that they didn't have in the physical. Like, we get to do things that they never experienced. So again, to say that my ancestors live and breathe through me, I get to honor them by doing certain things, by living life, this experience more fully. To go and adventure and to travel out, to taste different foods, even to skate, to sing, to dance, to see the Most High God everywhere, to experience it in this type of conscious awareness in this reality is something, again, some of them did not get a chance to experience. They had that opportunity ripped away from them, and it was very much unplanned, beloved. So to honor them, I lean into life. From grief, I have gratitude to be able to do the things that many of them just could not do for a variety of reasons. I feel it. Thank you to the Most High God for the reading of His words. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers them from them all. A righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord will deliver you from them all. I feel like somebody is having a sense of grief on different levels. Grieving unplanned death, grieving or going through the process of preparing for or facing their mortality. And there's stages for us to process that emotion, but the Most High God delivers us from them all. And I feel like the deliverance is knowing that life is all there is, that we live, beloved, because we are eternal, we are ageless, we are timeless, we are limitless. We are held in a vessel that is temporary in this form. But when my soul is released, which is me, my true self, I live on. He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? Thank you to the reading of your words, the Alpha and Omega, the Master, the Lord of all of creation. He who did not spare his own son. So the Word came flesh. And also not descended, but how did it go? The Word became flesh, but that flesh was temporary form. And the flesh also died. He gave him up for us all. How will he not also, along with him, the Word, graciously give us all things? Please discern. The source sends onto life and also calls onto death. So the source will send it, the life, us in life in physical form, and also call us back out of the physical form, out of the temporary form. I feel like you, as being the Word that was called, was sent in physical form to experience. But now I call you back onto me. I feel healing, a cycling to come back again. And it's like you do this through this eternal dance of being called and sent out, and then being called and brought back, all at the same time, and it's happening over and over and over again, or numerous times at the same time. There's something in here. I see the card. It is for the higher good. Changes will be made. I feel it coming into alignment, like with each iteration and each lifetime, you are ascending, you are changing. There are regrets. Somebody has some regrets, and that's challenging. Each life manifestation has regrets, and I'm seeing the word karma. Like you are working to rectify, to heal that which you regret from the last lifetime, to transmute your karma. There's miscommunication. Again, changes will be made. I was delusioned, disillusioned, wrong place, wrong time. And somebody wants to say that the feelings are mutual. That's a challenge. They felt the same way, but they may have been challenged by how they felt. Lessons are being taught is here. I feel like, again, that whole thing of learning lessons, coming back and going forward, being called back and going forward, like the whole thing is to teach you a lesson so that you may learn something. The card says second option, and I'm discerning, can you please reveal to me what does it mean? I'm hearing physical form is a second option. Physical form is a second option. Again, like our soul would rather be free. You want to need these? I feel like our soul would rather be free. Like that is the soul's desire, is to be free. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Most High God. To be back into your limitless space where you are not bound to this temporary form. Unique skills. Somebody was on a mission or developing a sense of self. It is that time of intense self-development. The physical vessel gives the soul the opportunity for some sort of development, I'm feeling. It says you already have what it takes to succeed, but practice makes you a master. Again, a master of self. And that's what we were reading in the beginning. Like the laws of leadership. And we mentioned becoming a master of self, having authority to make choices, to become better, attracting the lessons and the things that we need in order to ascend, to elevate. Commitment, loyalty, responsibility. I see responsibility. I see the words commitment and communication. I see ascension. I see deliverance, karma, transmutation. (1001) is in reverse and is for spiritual awakening. Somebody could be born in January. They could be born in October, October 1st, or January 1st, January 10th. It says a new phase in your religion, a new phase or spiritual quest. It wanted me to take out religious. A new phase or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like a dark night of the soul. But you're on the path to enlightenment. This too shall pass. It feels like just being trapped in a vessel, our souls feel like it's a dark night. Like it has to journey through this space in its temporary form in order to learn what it needs to come into another level of enlightenment. I hear it is our job to experience joy while we're in it, to experience bliss, to find a way to experience bliss, to keep the joy, that blissful state from the astral plane while we're in the physical. Because again, the joy of the master is not of this world. It's not. The world didn't give it, and the world shouldn't take it away. We keep it with us. We brought it with us. Karma. 888. And I kept feeling the infinity loop. 222, the void. 222, 2002. We just saw 1001. This is 2002. The void. It says longing. The soul longs to be free. Forward thinking and depression. I felt like, again, that somebody was going through it. You have more control over your life than you realize. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. Second option. There are plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, open up, go outside. One 616, readjustments, overcoming obstacles. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new life. It says romantic or platonic friendship, but I'm feeling life. That's what I'm being told to say. And look, the next line says begin a new life, as well as a chance to begin a new life, anew from your past. Everything will fall into place. It says everything will fall to pieces, but I don't feel like it's going to fall to pieces. I feel like it's going to fall into place. $47.55. Anything else I have about it? No. 666. Great blessings are coming. 6666. And we started with saying that we were blessed. That was the cup. That was the tenet. And I feel like the great blessing is to move through this life, this temporary form of physical manifestation, and to see the bliss in it, to keep it. Self-love, good vibes, wisdom, understanding, and letting go. Letting go of the attachments. Let go of things that are weighing you down. Make space for something meaningful and expand your spirit to all areas of your life. Karma, balance. I feel cycles. What goes around comes around. Do you want me to read that? If you don't appreciate the people in your life now, you won't have them tomorrow. This message encourages you to take personal responsibility and to use it to realize your greatest potential. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's divine alignment. Synchronization. Spirit guides. Progress. I see systems, processes, conditioning, and rules. You are on the right track. Someone from the other side has your back and is encouraging you to try your best. So if you've lost someone and you feel like they are no longer with you, they are beloved. They are with you and they are encouraging you to keep trying, to keep going. You will succeed. Observe your surroundings and communicate clearly. Be sure that everything will fall to pieces. And it says that again, everything will fall to pieces. Where is that card where it said everything will fall to pieces? But I don't feel like it's going to fall to pieces. I feel like all the pieces are going to fall in place. Observe your surroundings. I feel like there's someone with you. It could be a passed over loved one. You could be preparing those around you as well. I feel like somebody that is on the other side, on the astral side, is communicating with you. Again, all of your spirits, all of your spirit guides, your ancestors, close loved ones, even the ascended masters are here to uplift you, to show you that you can make it, you can get through, and you can do it, bringing things together, the pieces together, transmuting karma, learning the lessons, getting to the point of enlightenment and ascension, to make the adjustments, to overcome these obstacles, right? You have support that the pieces are going to come together, to know that there's nothing but life that exists. It just cycles, beloved. It cycles. A great blessing is coming. Beware of your frequency and what you are attracting to you. Making the adjustments in your heart space, your true mind. I hear so that you can experience the realness of you, like the real you, your spirit, your soul, that which exists despite this temporary form. There's a miscommunication and some changes are going to be made. Somebody feels like they were disillusioned and maybe they were in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong place. They were challenged by their mutual feelings, and somebody is definitely learning a lesson. There's some regrets here. Feelings are mutual as a challenge. The regrets are a challenge, and in the upright, lessons are being taught. They are learning a lesson. I feel like they have learned a lesson. I hear they are at comfort, in comfort. They are at peace. They experience the bliss of life that never ceases. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Tears and We Tarot Show, where you show enough never know what you're going to get. This is your girl Lati here, just bringing you a message from the Alpha and Omega, one that they needed somebody to hear. And I pray that the Alpha and Omega, I know that you will. I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. And I praise you for it right now, for bringing your we to this space that needed to receive this message. And I know you have delivered it. And to the next now, guys, know that I love you just like I love the Alpha and Omega that made me, that called me to be wisdom, the principal thing, intelligence breathing, word resurrected this day. To the next now, y'all. This one's done. I love you. Ashe.